We just found out mom has to move into senior living. So you have a cantankerous mother who's being taken from her forever home and put into someplace new.
Yeah, never put in that perspective for us. Her forever home. She went there to retire.
That's where she thought she was going to live. She's been there since 1973.
Yeah.
Where all the memories were. You've got the senior living community. They're a little bit needy. There's a lot of paperwork that needs to happen. How are you guys going to pay for this? These weird pressures about, that's when they realize they need to sell the house. We'll talk about that. You've got Judy's adult brothers and sisters. Sister Karen, we'll call her. There's always that sister that has the opinions without any of the answers, who questions everything that Judy does. You're selling the house for how much? You're putting her where? Mom's not what you say she is, right?
Yeah.
So the adult
we love
children,
those people, the ones that have all the problems and none of the answers.
I've got solutions for them. And I know in your training you do too. How do we help Judy deal with the siblings? Then the fourth one is Judy's a married woman, usually with kids at home still and a life, and she's got a needy husband at home who's like, he's missing his wife, and she's being pulled in these four directions, and all of those pressures are on daughter Judy to try to fix the problem. And so if me and you were brothers and we found out today that mom has to move into senior living, number one is, where's mom going to get the best care, right? We just got bad news from the doctor. We're going to go into these communities. We find out the one we and you picked out is not the cheap one. We picked the nice one. We love our mom. Who's going to pay for that? So bad news from the doctor, bad news from community. Then the last straw is everybody knows a realtor. And the realtor comes into mom's forever home and says, clean this place out, do this list of rehab items, and we'll put it on the market, and yes, then we can get that big Zillow number that you saw, right? That's how it works. Daughter Judy is still dealing with mom, still dealing with brothers and sisters, still trying to get all the family over there to coordinate the house sale, getting it cleaned out. And with mom's house and with any as-is buyer, our business that we're in, we offer a different solution for the seller. An easier solution for the seller. Bad news, bad news, bad news. And I come in and say, hey, in 3 weeks, I'll be at closing. Take any heirloom you want. Anything in here is your stuff, but if you want to leave everything else, you can.
Got it.
There's a crazy stat in St. Louis that I think is interesting. The average estate sale in St. Louis, the revenue is between $3,000 and $5,000. That's what the stuff sells for in the house. The cost to put that on, $3,000 to $5,000. So is dad's stuff worth nothing? I would argue it's worth less than nothing because of the time it took to get it to zero. Do you see what I'm saying?
Categorize it.
Well, it just took time, right?
Yeah.
It kept you away from mom's money. They're trying to unlock that equity in the house. Now, the senior living industry, they just want you to show up with a bag of cash. They don't want you to show up with a house that you need to sell. And so we help the senior industry. We help daughter Judy. And then the easy part is us, the real estate investor. We're dreaming of these type of deals. And there's 5 reasons why that I feel like that these are the best deals. And I would be happy to take the Pepsi challenge with any other type of lead source out there. I really believe when I say that these are the best leads. They need to sell the house versus want to. So there's no heavy lifting on convincing them that it's the time to sell. They have 100% equity in these houses almost always.
Really?
About 85% of the time. They're always a house, even if they've been taken care of, that are kind of grandma clean. They're kind of dated. They're not really ready for the market. So as a real estate investor, I'm always looking for a house that I can add value to. The fourth thing is that there's less competition. It's usually me versus a realtor, not me versus the Steve Trang trained people of the world, thank goodness. It's just me versus the realtor who's trying to make them do something they don't want to do anyway.
All right.
They don't want a rehab. They want to sell it to me. And then the fifth thing is it's a warm referral from someone that they're getting advice from for their mother. Think about that. If me and you went to Albuquerque right now, we'd throw out on Facebook, where's the best place to eat in Albuquerque? Well, we would do that because we trust others' opinions. Well, if me and you are brothers and we're getting advice from like a placement agent about mom's end-of-life care, when that person says, hey, I've got a guy or girl that can come in and buy this house the way it is, you don't have to do anything, I trust him, I work with him all the time, do you think we're going to give that person a chance?
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
So if you can show up halfway competent, you can buy a lot of houses when you have these relationships built with the right stakeholders in senior living.